I ask that you take a moment and ask yourself why, when there's real proof that till around 50 years ago it was normal to be slim and healthy and diets and dieting didn't exist, whereas today we're all still getting fat. What happened at that time that was so powerful it changed us from the slim, healthy people we were 50 years ago to the mostly fat, unhealthy people we are today? This story is about brutal, self-interested actions taken by people with only profits on their mind. Those actions went on to cause not only today's obesity epidemic, but also the ever-growing dangerous diabetes type 2. This is about a story I call the 3 world events that made us fat. It'll be told by webinar as soon as we have enough subscribers to fill the room. The information is critical to you if you have a weight problem or have ever had a weight problem, or you may just want to protect your children from future weight problems. This is the first time ever the truth will be revealed about what really and truly is the only cause of obesity, diabetes type 2, morbid obesity, and several diet-related cancers and diseases. This is a story that has never been told before. If it had been, there would be no weight control issues today. Clearly, something very big and very serious began to affect almost everybody around 50 years ago. It was caused by certain people who were determined to take ownership of our daily diet. When, how and why they did it and got away with it has been a big secret for 50 years. It's time you learn the truth. But this is not a story that can be told in a video, not even a long video. It's a story about brutality, self-interest, and an all-consuming determination to own every morsel of food you eat, regardless of any damage to your health and the added cost to future health of yourself and your children. This was about destroying a vital element that our body once used to lead us intuitively to eat only the right foods. To guarantee their success, they created an addiction and followed that up with a complete rework of how our body works. Like what it needs to be healthy and what you need to eat to stay that way. For more than 50 years, nobody has dared to reveal the truth. In all fairness, most people who know the truth are the same people who profit from it. I'm one of the few exceptions. I'm 77 years old. I can therefore speak of it with a high degree of authority. I had a special interest in the subject from the beginning. I witnessed how they did what they did and why nobody who could have stopped them even tried to stop it. I witnessed with shock the willful determination and brutality these people used to get their way. It's time to reveal the shocking truth about obesity and diabetes type 2. But why me? Nobody else seems willing. I'll reveal who those people were that literally created obesity in full knowledge that their products were highly addictive. They knew that because they created the addiction in their own laboratories by their own researchers. Their success is the success of the addiction created in one of several research facilities they own. Obesity began with the addiction. Then gradually, step by step, they managed to rewrite the right foods to eat. First by force, but then once the addiction had a foothold, we were hooked. That's where we are today. It's where we'll stay till we have the will and desire to give back ownership of weight control to our internal body where it has always belonged. Where our already existing intuitive weight loss system that kept us slim and healthy for centuries is ready to take back the job that was never yours anyway. To manage and control your weight intuitively, just as nature always intended. The battle of ownership of the food we eat was never about us, our health, or our welfare. It was always about the power, influence, and growth of an industry who had total disregard for fellow human beings who were relegated to a resource. They waged a war to finally break our intuitive eating system so they could take control of the daily foods we eat. It was brutal, uncaring, and immensely successful. Clearly, these were big events at the time, but life goes on, and we forget. I remember because I had a special interest and was left in awe and horror by what I witnessed, and therefore could never forget. The consequences were all around me. I knew one day I would have to reveal what is today probably the biggest, most dreadful, best-kept secret in the world. It must be revealed, and it will be revealed. As soon as enough people express an interest in the webinar, The 3 World That Made Us Fat, by downloading my free report, the whole awful truth is revealed, and you will be one of the first to learn the truth. You'll know without a shadow of a doubt exactly what makes you fat and exactly what you can do to get back to the slim, healthy body we all once took for granted. You'll discover the awful actions that were taken to force us to eat foods that are alien to our body. This will finally be revealed for all to see and understand. You will know the only truth that reveals what makes you fat. It'll surprise and amaze you to discover the secret behind our backs actions that gave us an obesity epidemic, morbid obesity, and diabetes type 2. It'll shock you most to learn that it was all done purposely, behind our backs, without our knowledge. It was quickly locked down and became a guarded secret that has remained untold till now. Revealing this secret will finally make sense of those decades-old questions like, why didn't we begin to get fat till 50 years ago? Why do we get fat now? What changed 50 years ago that began to make us fat? Who, why, and what caused those things to happen to us? How can we return our body to the way it would have been till 50 years ago? The complete answers can only be found in the 3 world events that made us fat. To make sure you get a free invitation, download the free report.